Brookfield police responded to a fight in the Target parking lot after one man pulled a gun on a group of men attacking him over sports trading cards.
People looking for sports cards just skyrocketed.
We talked to an expert here in Brookfield who says it's all about supply and demand, a scarcity that's driven up the price of a box of new cards like this one above $400.
There's a big majority of it that are doing it for return on investment. So that's the gambling part of it. It can be. So it's almost like the golden ticket Willy Wonka. It's common to have 50 plus people standing in line all day, 6 to 8 hours, waiting to see if they can get one box of cards.
A box they can turn around and sell for easily 5 times what they paid for it. And after the incident here, Target tells 12 News they are reevaluating their protocols, quote, to ensure safety at our stores.
Welcome, my friends, sports fans, and welcome to something I thought I would never, ever, ever do. And this is my top 7 sports-related movies. Now, listen, I am not a sports fan. I do not watch basketball or football or hockey, or I don't watch any sports. Okay? It's not my passion. It's not my thing. Movies are my thing. And if it's a movie about sports, and you might get a chance, but there's a little handful of sports-related movies that I actually enjoy. Now, what triggered this sports-related topic? Well, my son last night, I get a message at around 1 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you want to go to Target in the morning? They're dropping the sports cards, okay? And he's a basketball fan. He's into basketball. He plays basketball. He wants to play basketball for the team, for the school. He's all about the basketball. And so a couple weeks ago, he asked to sleep over his friend's house, and come to find out, he camped out in front of a Target overnight to try to get a box of cards. Oh, maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. Because when I was a kid, a pack of football cards, a pack of basketball cards, a pack of cards in general was like 50 cents. You could buy a case of, and a pack of cards consisted of 20 cards. If you bought the special ones, you get 50 cards in a dollar pack. You know what I mean? It was like a thing. You know what I mean? And you could easily go into any place and buy a box of cards. You can go, if you had $20, you can buy a whole box, and you are guaranteed to get a set, plus doubles. This is gone. This is not even a thing anymore. So now because of the flippers, the people that buy things and then jack up the price. So I wanted to share this with you because the stories I heard this morning, this is the first time I've ever done this in my life. First time I've ever done this, and probably the last time I'll ever do this, because it was outrageous. I mean, outrageous. Okay, so we're talking about basketball cards. That's what we're talking about here. Basketball cards. Okay, my son wants a Lemon Balls rookie card. I don't know who Lemon Balls is, but supposedly he's gonna be the next big thing. Gave me a bunch of other names, something Harris, I think it was, but the one that stuck in my head was Lemon Balls. And supposedly Lemon Balls is going to be the next LeBron James, or going to be the next Shaquille O'Neal, and the next. These are the people I know. I don't know. LeBron James, I'm even pushing. I don't. If he walked in front of me right now, I would not even know who he is. I just know by the name, and that's it. And the Pops dolls that I see at Walmart. But if LeBron James walked in front of me right now, I'd be like, I wouldn't even know it was LeBron James. I would have no clue whatsoever. But anyway, so supposedly this Lemon Balls guy is going to be like the next big thing. Okay? He's going to be the next Michael Jordan. Him, I know. So he hits me up with this thing. Let me skip my first couple periods of class, and we'll have this moment. This is the thing. He tells me this, and he didn't tell me we'd have this moment. But in my head, I'm like, okay, you know what? What is cooler? I mean, life is short. Life is short. And I can't express that enough, that when you have chances to spend time with your kids, when you have chances to do things, these memorable experiences with your kids, you got to grab them, man. You got to grab. My son's reaching out to me at 1 o'clock in the morning. He wants to spend time with his father, standing in a line around the corner at Target, an hour before they open, and then wait another hour because at Target, this is the thing now too. The store opens at 8 o'clock, but they won't sell you any cards until 9 o'clock. And you have to wait in this gigantic line that goes around the corner. Meanwhile, people have been camping out all night to get these cards because I guess they want a Lemon Balls too. I don't know. But I'm standing here and I'm in the line. I'm listening to these people. And this one lady shows up, and she's got like two kids in a carrier. Okay, I'm talking like infants. We're talking babies and these little carriers there. And supposedly, I guess it's the thing is they're limiting the boxes per people. Okay, so it's one box per person. She brings her infants, so that counts as a person. These kids can't even talk. They don't know what basketball is. I mean, we're talking babies. It's like, and she's gonna get in line, and she's gonna get to the front of this line. She's gonna be like, because with it used to be limited 3 boxes per person. Now it's 1 box per person, and these aren't cheap. It's $20 for 6 packs of cards, and the packs of cards literally have 6 cards in them. I think it's 6 or 8 cards in them. For $20, I mean, maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm not keeping up with the times. I don't know. But I'm in here and I'm listening to these people, and then I'm listening to this guy behind me, and he's like, oh, if you want to know, if you pick up this pack of cards, you open this pack of cards, you get this guy's card in there, whatever. You go to this website. I guess it's websites that tell the flippers how much money these things are worth. And the funny thing is, I'm looking at the people in this line, okay? Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to judge nobody, but there was like a big line of elderly people, and they ain't buying no Pokemon cards. They ain't buying no sports cards for themselves. And when I'm talking elderly, I'm not talking like 50, 60 years old and being like, oh, no, that's elderly. No, I'm talking like 80 plus, you know what I mean? Old, I mean, they got walkers. I in my head, I literally thought that somebody probably picked these people up from a home and said, oh, you know what? I'm going to take you out on a little trip, and you're allowed to buy 1 box of cards per person. And then these guys are going to grab. I heard stories this morning about people that they go and they buy the cards for $20, and they take them out to their car, and they hold up a sign, and they sell them for $160. Why? Okay. I'm going to tell you something right now. I collect movies. I collect media. I collect toys. I collect CDs. And sometimes it's difficult to get these things. You know what? The different thing is, it's not so much difficult to get media as far as it's just strike when the iron is hot. Like if a movie comes out, you buy the movie as soon as it comes out. Or else eventually it becomes out of print, which makes it worth money. That's the collector in me. Toys, same situation. There's an abundance of toys. Every once in a while they have the limited edition stuff or whatever, but it drops, you grab it, and you go. I've never seen this setup thing where you're lined up for an hour, and then they let you in for another hour, and you don't even know if the cards are there. So this was my situation this morning. I let him skip the first 2 periods of class. I'm having in my head, I'm like, this is the father-son bonding experience. We're bonding over sports cards. We're gonna go get Lemon Ball's rookie card. He's gonna be happy. He's gonna be smiling. And originally he's like, well, I could buy this thing for this box of cards for $20, and then I could put it on eBay and Mercari for $160. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna do that. Wonder why? 'Cause I want to raise my kid right. Okay, that's the deal. You don't raise your kid to rip people off. Obviously, this card collecting hobby is no longer a hobby. People are paying their mortgages and paying for their houses and paying for their cars by buying these cards, and they're flipping them. And the thing that got me is I'm looking in the line. There's no children. I mean, these are Pokemon cards. These are basketball cards. These are football cards. These are sports-related cards. Excuse me. For kids. I was out in the cold this morning. Okay, so maybe I got a little bit of something. I don't know. But these are cards that to me would be geared around for children. You know what I mean? Especially Pokemon cards. I mean, I would think that's a kid's thing. I don't know. Maybe it's me. They come in a Pokemon ball. I teach preschool. The kids used to bring in the Pokemon ball. To me, I was like, okay, this is a kid's thing. No. Adults are buying these things in bulk, and they're reselling them for a ton of money. And to me, this is just, if you're a card collector, this is stealing something away from the whole. I mean, I enjoy the thrill of the hunt when it comes to Blu-rays and toys and CDs and media. So I enjoy the thrill of the hunt. When I want to collect something, I want to get everything, and I enjoy it. But this wasn't a hunt. This was sad. This was me. So anyway, we're there. You're there. And this would trigger today's sports related topic or whatever, because I'm keeping with my media, and I'm keeping with my Blu-rays and my DVDs and stuff. And so I'm thinking, like, how can I turn this into content for you guys and tell you a little bit about what happened to me this morning? Because this has never happened to me before. This was something that this is a once in a lifetime thing. I don't think I'm ever going to do this again. maybe for him, I try again, but I'll tell you right, I was just painstakingly odd. Okay, so anyway, so I'm in the line. We're allowed 1 box per person. I'm telling him, all right, I give him cash. I'm like, okay, you can get a box, and I can get a box. He's like, oh, what are we gonna do? We're gonna sell them out. I'm like, no, you enjoy collecting cards because you're a collector. Okay, you want to collect them because you enjoy the players and what they do, and you want to boost up your collection. It's not buy them to flip them, because that's what all these people here are doing, and this is why we are standing in a line for 2 hours to try to get a pack of cards. Okay, trying to get this through his head is a little difficult sometimes, but I'm listening to these people, man, and straight up, the guy behind me is like, I just came from this store up there, and I just came from that one over there, and I camped out over there. I'm like, is this all you do? I mean, is this your thing? I mean, this is all you do. And the thing is, he's not a collector. He's not maybe he's collecting money. Okay, he might be a money collector, collecting from poor, unfortunate people that are getting robbed by him. But I'm literally listening to this guy, and this is what he's telling me. Well, this is what he's telling the person behind him. He takes these cards, puts them on eBay, and buys them himself. So it looks like, so let's say he puts the cards on, he buys a box of cards, which, tell you the truth, I think it's 6 packs of cards. I want to say 6 to 8 cards per pack, $20 plus tax for a box. Okay, that's what I got for my son. That's what I heard him say. But we didn't get to that point, but I'll tell you what's going on here. So anyway, I'm listening to this guy behind me, and he's like, okay, so I buy my cards, and then I go on this website, and he says the name of the website, which I'm not going to promote the website because I think it's ridiculous. So I can't remember it anyway. But then after you buy the cards, and you either open the cards, here's his options. He opens the cards, and he checks the website, and then he flips them. Okay, but this is what he's telling the lady behind him, whatever. He's like, so what I usually do is I take the cards, and I'll sell them on eBay. But I'll buy them myself using my wife's account. So he'll put a box of cards on eBay for $160. He'll buy his own box of cards for $160, having to pay eBay, I believe, is like $2 or $3, whatever it is, their selling fee or whatever it is. Sometimes you get a free selling fee with eBay. But anyway, let's say give this guy the benefit of the doubt that he's going to spend the $3. So he buys his own box of cards so that people will go on eBay and be like, how much are these cards worth? And see that they're selling for $160 when really it was just the same guy buying from himself. I'm listening to this on top of the story about the lady that's trying to get cards for her infants so she can flip them. And I'm looking at the line of people, and it's all elderly people, all older men, and I want to give the benefit of the doubt to believe that some of these people are actually card collectors. There's some of these people who legitimately, they're trying to build a collection, they're trying to get the complete set of whatever basketball. We were on a hunt for Panini prisms. That's what we were on a hunt for, okay? Because supposedly, this is another thing, is that each card in a Panini prism, there's certain cards in it that are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Some cards are worth thousands of dollars. And last time my son went, he actually was able to get a box. And he came home and he opened it up, and the box had crap in it. Okay, crap? No, not literally crap, but it had cards that were not worth anything. They were all like what do they call them? Not regular players, common players. They were pretty much common players. But so he opened it up, and then he's mad. He's mad because he didn't try to flip it on an eBay or a Mercari for $160. And I'm like, buddy, if your thought process was, I'm going to buy this to flip it, to rip somebody off, that's why you didn't get that pack of cards with that Lemon Balls guy in it, okay? Because you ain't going to get blessed by trying to rip people off. I truly believe that. I mean, I don't think that you're going to get something good by doing something bad. And, but he's like, oh, my friends, they were allowed 3 of them. They bought 3. I'm like, okay, they spent $60+. Yeah, and they're flipping them on eBay or whatever. I'm like, does that make it right? I said, you just got a box that wasn't worth anything, and you just spent $20-something of my money because you don't work, and you didn't get lemon balls, and this other guy, your friend's flipping them on. Why don't you call your friend up right now and say, hey, sell me a box for $25, $22, or whatever you pay for. If he's such a good friend, he'll sell you a box of cards. No, he's not gonna sell me a box of cards because he's gonna flip them for 160. What is going on in this world with people? I mean, this is your friend. You know what I mean? I'm trying to explain to him these things, and I'm like, listen, when I was growing up, I had a friend, and we used to go out, and I liked the guy. He was a good guy, no problem with the guy. But I call him up, and I'm like, hey, you wanna go to the movies? Yeah, let's go to the movies, whatever. We get to the movies, and he don't have no money. You know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, you want to go to the beach? Yeah, I'll go to the beach. We go to the beach. He ain't got no money. And it's lunchtime. He's like, oh, I ain't got no money. And I'm like, listen, you're not my girlfriend. You ain't even going to kiss me before the end of this date. You know what I mean? It's like, you're a moocher. You know what I mean? So some friends, it's time to cut ties and just see you later. Those aren't good friends. You know what I mean? So, wow, I got a little off track with that one. But to make a long story short, we waited in line for almost 2 hours to try to get a box of basketball cards. We get to the front of the line, and all they have left is football cards. And now my son's trying to persuade me into, hey, why don't we buy some football cards? I'm like, for what? You don't collect football cards. You're not into football cards. Yeah, but we can get them, and they're worth money. And the guy behind us and the other guy over there, he's saying that he wants them. There's only 5 boxes left. I'm like, you don't learn nothing, man. If you collect basketball cards, go for the basketball cards. These poor buggers back here have been waiting in line for 2.5 hours or so too. Even longer than us, because some people. No, that wouldn't be longer than us. The ones in front of us are longer than us, but the people behind us, they've been waiting too. If that's their passion, is football cards, let them get their football card. I don't want to rip these people off just so I can say I did. Whoa. It never surprises me what this world has handed to our future. You know what I mean? It's like lying and conniving, sneaking and flipping, and man, the flippers make it difficult for me to buy movies. The flippers make it difficult for me to buy toys and media and stuff like that. I'm a collector. I have a love. I have a passion. I'm not a rich man. I'm not sitting in no mansion. I'm not sitting in a lap of luxury over here. I don't have. I'm not gonna call my maid and my servant friend and Jeeves, come over here and get me a can of soda. I'm not sitting on my gold toilet. You know what I mean? I ain't doing that. Okay, I'm just living, and I'm happy. I'm just living, and I'm coasting by, and I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable. It just makes this speechless. That's it. I'm dropping it as speechless. So anyway, while I'm standing there, I'm like, how can I turn this into content? I'm not a sports fan, but I am a fan of these picks for the my top 7 sports-related movies. Now, when I say sports-related movies, there's sports in it. There's sports somewhere in it, and I left out the Rockies, okay? Because that to me, Rockies are in a whole another realm. Rocky is my number 1 sports movie, okay? You know what I mean? But I'm talking more about sports, meaning football, basketball, hockey, soccer, that type of stuff. You know what I mean? That's what I was after here. Boxing, although it's a sport, Rocky's in a whole other realm. One day I'll do a Rocky, my favorite Rocky movies ranked or something like that. So I left Rocky out of the picture, but keep in mind that if I had to go to a sports movie, Rocky would definitely be my number 1. So actually, Rocky 4 would probably be my number 1 sports movie to go to, because I absolutely love the one when he fights Ivan Drago. So anyway, top 7. And why do I say top 7? Why didn't I go top 10? Why didn't I go top 20? Because I don't even think I own 20 or 10 sports. Really, I probably do. If I really dig, I probably do. But these were the main ones that, off the top of my head, I was like, you know what? I'm going to share these with you guys. I'm going to share my story with you. I hope it wasn't too long. But, wow, man. The things people do never cease to... Well, they amaze me. They do amaze me. Okay, I'm not going to say never cease to amaze me, because it amazes me how disgusting people can... Can you imagine a lady trying to get basketball cards for infants so that she could flip them and sell them for $160. And these people, I mean, like I said, I don't mean to judge, but they look rough, man. They look like they needed it's tough to say because some people, they probably needed to get these cards, to flip these cards, to make the money, to take care of either their families or their habits. That's why I felt when I'm standing there. I'm like, this poor bugger right here, man. He's definitely, he's strung out on something, and he's probably gonna buy these cards, flip these cards, and he's gonna go buy his bag of whatever. I mean, that's the line that I was in, and I'm trying to not be too social and everything. I'm just trying to listen. And like I said, even the elderly people, I'm like, they didn't even know what they were buying. They were getting messages what to buy. So literally, I mean, I feel like this was either the grandkids sent them, or the kids sent them, or whatever, because they're retired, they're not working. So let's send grandma, grandpa out to stand in a line for 2 hours out in the cold to try to get a box of cards so they could probably go flip them. It was just, it was funny because it's not funny. It's sad, but it was an experience. But I'm just looking at it like, wow, man, this is what it's come to. You can't even order a box of cards on like Amazon or something. You can't get them. This is the only process right now. Is they drop on Friday morning, and you stand in a line, or you sleep there overnight, and you try to get you're trying to get concert tickets like back in the day. Now, I can understand that for concert tickets. I can understand camping out overnight to try to get tickets to your favorite concert, because that's different. I mean, unless you were going to get them to scalp them, then you'd be in the same spot as the flippers. You know what I mean? But if you're a fan, dang, man. I don't even know what that was. It's early, and I'm making this video early because I wanted everything to be fresh in my mind when it just happened. But I just got up. I didn't just get up. I've been standing in the line outside the cold for I don't know how long. Whew. Anyway, so top 7 sports-related movies that I actually enjoy. So, I'm not even going to numbers. I guess it would be 7, okay? Number 7 would be Jerry Maguire. Yes, it's a love story. Yes, it's not all sports, but it does have that sports thing, and it's got the Cuba Gooding Jr. character that he wants to show him the money and play for his team, and it's an enjoyable movie, okay? Sports related, it's definitely about a sports promoter. I think is he a sports promoter? Yeah, I think he's a promoter. He's not a manager. I think he's a sports promoter, and yeah, he's kind of a scumbaggish type guy at the beginning, but then he starts to change his ways towards the end of the movie as he starts to have feelings. It's almost like I all of a sudden grew a heart by the end of this movie. Good movie. Sports related, football. There's football in it. You see football in it. There's actually a big traumatic experience football thing at the end of the movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. that makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck and gets you all excited. If you've seen Jerry Maguire, you know what I'm talking about. But Jerry Maguire, number 7 pick, okay? Sports related movies. Number 6 sports related movie. Field of Dreams. Yes, it's a ghost story about baseball, but it's a baseball story too. He's looking for Shoeless Joe Jackson, which I was always. When I saw this movie, I'll tell you, it's so. I don't own 8 Men Out, but 8 Men Out was a really good movie too with John Cusack. I gotta look into that one. But yeah, this guy he plows through his field of corn to make a baseball field, because in the field they tell him, if you build it, he will come. And it's like, who will come? Shoeless Joe Jackson will come? No, the secret to this movie will come. And he plows through his crops, and he's like getting ready to go bankrupt because he's hearing voices telling him to plow through his crops and make a baseball field in the middle of his crops. And then there's a baseball game filled with ghosts. Okay, that's what this movie's about. It's a ghost story about a baseball team that used to exist in the past. Well, it wasn't a team; it was individual players. But this was a good movie. It was a good drama movie. I would classify it as a drama, a little comedy in it going on there. But Field of Dreams, definitely watchable, definitely sports related. It's got baseball in it. Next one, this one is 100% sports related, and I'm surprised that I'm even a fan of this movie, but I was, and I am. So, Rudy. This is Rudy. I don't have Rudy on Blu-ray, unfortunately. I don't think I'd upgrade Rudy on Blu-ray. This is a cool little special edition one that I ended up getting. I think I got this from Savers. It's about this kid that wants to play for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, I want to say. Is it the Fighting Irish? Notre Dame something. Yeah, I think it's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team. But he's a little guy. He's a little tiny guy, and he wants to play so bad, and he can't get into the school because his grades aren't that good, and his father wants him to work in the iron mine or whatever. I think they do, like, molting metals and stuff like that. They do something, whatever. But he finds his way to get onto the Notre Dame field somehow, and they let him on the field. They let him play. He ends up weaseling his way or sneaking his way or doing his way. The kid works hard to get onto that field, to get to play football for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And I want to say it's based on a true story. Doesn't say. It just says thumbs up. And it does star the guy from Sean Astin from Goonies. So I like Sean Astin. I like Goonies. And the guy from The Rock is in this thing too. Is it The Rock? The Rock. Sean Astin, Ned Beatty, Robert Jet. No, it's not gonna say it. Nope. Okay. Anyway. Sports related movie, football, Rudy, story about an underdog, gets on the field. I think he gets to play the final game. His father gets to see him play the final game. It's one of these big, awesome moments. I'm not giving it away, I don't think. And anyway, this movie's so old. If you haven't seen Rudy yet, find a copy. You can get it at Savers. That's where I found this copy. All right. Next one. Slap Shots. Okay, what are we on here? This is number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4. Yes, number 4. Slap Shots. This is a hockey movie. Sports related. Funny hockey movie. Good hockey movie. Stars Paul Newman. Bunch of other people. These three guys right here. Wow, I'm drawing a blank on their names. But so they enlist these three guys, and it's almost like they got the brain of children. They play with toys and stuff, but they're like violent, extremely violent. Like they check people into the boards and they punch them in the face, and they're bleeding all over the place and everything. And they're like, these three guys right here are what makes this movie. Okay, bottom line, it's what makes these movies. I actually have the McFarlane action figures of these three guys in the regular version and the bloody version. They are what makes this movie, because they're funny. This is a comedy. This is a funny movie. Paul Newman, he's Paul Newman. And, hockey movie, sports related, funny. Good movie. So, Slap Shots, number 4. Number 3. Whoa, let's go. Number 3. Space Jam. Hey, it's basketball. It's got Michael Jordan in it, among other players. I think Patrick Ewing's in this. This is my time basketball players. These are the basketball players that I remember, like a Scottie Pippen and who else is in this movie here? Is there a Magic Johnson in this, or I would think there would be a Magic Johnson. Anyway, it's the Looney Tunes. There's a part 2 coming out. I think LeBron James is gonna be playing the Michael Jordan character. He's going to take over the next Michael Jordan, which I keep telling my son, I'm like, he should have got a LeBron James rookie card, because to me, I feel like that might be the next Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's rookie cards are going for unbelievable amounts of money. But he didn't get it, and we ain't going to get it, because now it's like crazy amounts of money. So, Space Jam. Looney Tune movie about young Michael Jordan playing for the team. He wants to retire. I haven't seen this in a long time. I want to say he's playing baseball, but they want him to get sucked back into basketball. So these space aliens come down and they challenge the Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan to a basketball game to save the world. I'm pretty sure that's the premise of this movie. If I am wrong, please comment below. I don't know. Okay, next one. This one to me is a sports movie. Okay, it's got the name of the sport in the title. It's a good movie, and it's a movie called The Basketball Diaries, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. And who doesn't love them some Leonardo DiCaprio? And what I liked about, see, now, like I said, I am not a sports fan. I will not sit down and watch a football game. I will not sit down and watch a basketball game unless my son is playing. If my son or daughters, I have had daughters that played volleyball. I've had daughters that played football. I've had daughters that played basketball, not football. They didn't play football. And I will go watch a game and have no problem watching a game, but it would have to be like a high school game or a middle school game. I'm not about sitting down and watching a football game, or a basketball game. But this movie, The Basketball Diaries, is about this guy that supposedly was really good at basketball. High school was really good at basketball. He could have probably became a pro something. And I've heard stories about this in real life many, many, many times. And this is a story that is very familiar. I mean, I actually know somebody that has gone through something similar to this. And great athlete, you know what I mean? Great sports athlete. He's ready to be, he could have been a big, big, big star someday, you know, but starts turning to drugs, drugs, and not talking regular, like hard drugs, you know what I mean? And strung out and messed up. And this is a story about this guy who was a basketball player in high school, liked to write poetry. And then if I remember correctly, he ended up not becoming a famous basketball player. He ended up becoming a famous writer, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much the story. So this is a rated R movie. This is gets a little graphic. The stuff that this kid or guy went through in his career and his life to become what he became was tough, you know what I mean? But you know what? It's also a movie about choices, man. People get choices. You got choices to do what you want to do. Like I tell my kid all the time. I tell my son, I'm like, you want to be a professional basketball player? Get your head in the game. Stay focused or whatever. You don't be messing around with this. You don't be messing around with that. I think it was a movie, whatever. Don't be messing around with those girls. I think I was from Rocky 5 or whatever with the Tommy Guns days. Like, don't be messing around with those girls. You know what I mean? It's like, focus. Keep your focus on keep your eyes on the prize type situation. And this guy, he veered off. He went on a different direction, took a different path, and probably ruined his. Well, he became famous for another reason, but his friends, the stuff that happened to these people, it's a sad story. You know what I mean? And this is definitely a drama. Definitely not for kids. It's rated R. And this movie's definitely out of print. So I'm happy that I got this one. That's the reason why I bought this movie, is because, number one, it's Leonardo DiCaprio, and I like Leonardo DiCaprio. And it's out of print. And I saw this movie quite a few times when I was younger. And it wasn't for the basketball. I mean, the basketball is a small piece of this movie. It's more about the story of the writer and the things that he had to go through. And that's what draws me to this movie. All right. Everything fell, so I got more room to put there. Now, this is my number one sports-related movie. Okay, this is the one. This one I have watched easily over 100 times. I'm not giving you guys the business as Leave It to Beaver's father would say. I have watched this movie easily over 100 times throughout the course of the years. This movie came out in the 80s. And it's the 8th. Wait, let me make sure, because I always tell you guys the dates and stuff. I want to say it was the 80s because it's been around for a long time. And I'm not going to be able to tell you what it was, because then, of course, they're not going to put it on the back of the thing. Yeah, I'm not going to pause that long. Listen, this movie came out, I want to say the 80s. And it is a movie called Lucas, starring Corey Haim and Charlie Sheen and that girl from Goonies, okay? And sports-related movie, football. That's the sport that this is all about. It's about this kid who's like really, really, he's smart. His father's an alcoholic. He pretty much takes care of himself. And he's got all these odd jobs that he does to make money. And you never see the father through the whole movie. Now, I'm not giving anything away. He's supposed to be an alcoholic. Supposedly, it's got Winona Ryder in it too, young Winona Ryder. And so this kid, he's hanging out. He likes to collect bugs. It's his big thing. He's an anthropologist. Is that what he likes to collect bugs? So one day he's got his little net there, and he's trying to collect bugs, and he sees this girl playing tennis, and it's the girl from from Goonies there, the redheaded girl. I ain't gonna bother. And he's becomes a little bit infatuated with her, but of course she's new at the school, and she falls for the Charlie Sheen character. It probably has her name, Kerry Green. That's her name, Kerry Green. She made the top thing. Winona Ryder did too, and she's barely in it. But so of course the new girl, the pretty new redheaded girl, is gonna fall for the Charlie Sheen, the head of the jocks. You know what I mean? And of course that leaves poor little Lucas to try to do something to impress her. So in order to impress her, he joins the football team. But he's a little tiny guy. I want to say he's like a freshman or whatever, and these are all seniors. And he's trying to get it, but he pulls something because he's so smart to get on the team. So he gets on the team, and they tell him that, okay, well, you're not going to get to play, though. You can't play or whatever. But then something happens. He ends up playing, and this... To me, this is the movie that started the slow clap. If you know what the slow clap is, this was found in almost 20% of your 80s movies. Slow clap. Starts off like this. Something really exciting happened, and you get... And then everybody joins in. And everybody's going crazy. You're like, yeah, whoa, yeah, you did it, yeah. That's the slow clap, and that's in like 20% of the 80s movies, and it is definitely, to me, this is the first time I think I ever seen the slow clap, was in this movie. So if you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure you know the slow, if you're a fan of movies, you know the slow clap. That it happens in almost every single one of them, then teen comedy, teen movie type things, when the underdog makes it to a point, the slow clap happens, and wow, you feel... You're literally in front of the TV, and you're like looking around first, because you're like, I think it happens in Rudy too. I mean, it's a thing, you know. It's a slow clap into the large clap into the round of applause, because you made it. But to me, football, sports-related movie, I mean, you be the judge of that, but it is hands down probably my favorite sports movie. I've watched this so many, like easily over 100 times since 1980, whatever the heck that came out. That ain't no word of a lie, I'm telling you the truth. I like Corey Haim. I think I always thought he was a great actor, and this was one of his better movies. So with that said, I'm tired. With that said, you collectors out there, man, good luck. Good luck. If you're a sports card collector, good luck with your journey, man. And hopefully, maybe I helped you out. You know, if anything, maybe you can go to an elderly home, and maybe like library cards, library books. Maybe you can ask the people at the elderly home if you can take out 6 people or whatever. Let me take that little old lady and those 2 little old men and whatever that is, and let me put them in my car, and we'll line them up on the wall at Target, and we'll give them $20 a piece, and they can all get you a box of cards so you can enjoy your hobby. Wow. I cannot believe what happened to me this morning. And with that said, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you